All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is a STEM Teachers NYC virtual consulting and coaching information session. We're really happy to have you here today. You're going to get a chance to meet some of our amazing consultants and coaches and learn a little bit about what their specialties are and how they can best support you in elevating your STEM teaching at your school or any other organization, museum, after school program, non-traditional setting. We cater to people from many different types of institutions. So we are excited to see how we can help you. So let's move on. We have a problem, and this is a problem that I think every single educator has run into before, and that problem is time. Teachers, schools, and other educational organizations strive to provide their students with quality STEM instruction, informed by the most recent research and knowledge of best practices. But creating and implementing an engaging, developmentally appropriate, effective, NGSS-aligned curriculum can be a challenging and time-consuming task. And so a lot of times we're spending so much time with our students that we don't have the time we need to do significant changes to our curriculum or to really think um, critically about our practice. And so these are just some of the things that we might not be able to do because of time. So what is the solution? Well, I'm hoping that for you, STEM Teachers NYC's consulting and coaching services could be the solution. We do a few different things, but I just sort of boiled them down into three areas. So we develop STEM curriculum for classrooms, schools, and other educational institutions. We provide one-on-one and group coaching on STEM curriculum implementation for educators. And this is our bread and butter. We are, essentially a workshop organization. So we offer customized professional development opportunities for STEM teachers. So if a group of your teachers needs professional development in, say, the new Regents exams, then we could provide that for you. Who do we support? We support public schools, DOE, independent schools, charter schools. We have a couple of charter schools we're working with currently. And I've worked with a couple of DOE schools in the past doing consulting and coaching. We can help with homeschooling and remote education programs. We also can help with informal STEM programs like after-school programs, camps, museum education, and basically any other organization you can think of that provides STEM programming. What do we do? So first, you have to reach out to us and we'll tell you how to do that in just a couple of minutes. But what we like to do is sit down with you and we have a diagnostic session. And during the diagnostic session, we listen to you, we assess your needs, and we define the scope of work. This is followed by a clear written work plan outlining the duration, cost, and expected outcomes of our services. And then we collaborate with you to make sure our goals are clear and well aligned. It's really important that we're not just telling you how we can help you. We want you to be part of a collaborative process, helping us to help you and learning more about what your needs are and how we can best support you. So I'll get started kind of talking a little bit about myself. So my name is Juliet, and I have a lot of hats that I wear at STEM Teachers NYC, but one of them is the Director of K-12 STEM Consulting and School Support with STEM Teachers NYC. So if you're looking for consulting or coaching, you'll get in touch with me first, and then I would connect you with one of the amazing members of our consulting and coaching team. I personally am an elementary science specialist. I specialize in grades K through 6, and I have 2 New York State professional certificates, one in childhood ed and one in biology education. I am currently a PhD student in science ed at Teachers College, Columbia University, so I'm in a doctoral program. I, alongside Kate McCauley and a couple of other elementary educators, started our elementary STEM curriculum. So we're very passionate about elementary STEM education. And if you are in elementary school or an elementary educator who's looking to elevate your STEM practice, one of us would be more than happy to help you. So that's enough about me. I'm going to move on to our next person, and you're going to hear from several people today who are going to kind of do the same thing, tell you about what their specialties are, how they enjoy supporting teachers, what they can do for you if you decide to become a client for our consulting and coaching program. So without further ado, let's go to Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Vello, and I was introduced to STEM Teachers NYC through the Kids Talk Teachers Talk program, which has kind of informed much of the discussion in my classroom and the way I run my STEAM elementary program. It might be a little loud because I'm still in school. So I currently work with students K through 8, but I would say I mainly put my attention and I'm passionate about the earlier ages, like the K through 5, because I feel like when you prime them right, you kind of set them up and open up the possibilities to them. So I work both as curriculum designer and teacher for STEAM. We integrate the A with design thinking and problem solving. And so I create curriculum and work with students and align it to the NSTA and the ST standards. I also feel like community is a big part of this learning experience. And since around us there are so many people who could be resources and experts in an area, I also help in coordinating community engagement events like Code Night and the School Maker Fair in our school. So this was the 10th, this was our ninth year. Next year will be our 10th year, where we have a School Maker Fair. And the reason I am passionate about that, I feel like at the younger age, they learn more by doing. And that exposure and those hands-on skills and that divergent thinking is going to be a critical skill in an age where AI is kind of dominating the conversation. And so much of my practices are centered around maker centered or inquiry based. And I am passionate about computational thinking and environmental ed, and then integrating the sustainable development goals. And yes, so happy to be among all of you. And I am thankful for Juliet and Kate for leading the young elementary STEM education, because I feel like that is a good place to start, because very often students land up in the older grades and they don't see themselves as scientists or someone who can code or do anything. And I feel like if they can achieve that at a younger age and learn that everybody is a born scientist because we are born to ask questions and we are all curious, I think then we set ourselves for more success later on.
So I wanted to go to Michelle first because, like myself, she's an elementary educator. But as you heard from her, she also has experience with computational thinking, environmental education. So again, if you are one of our elementary people, you might end up having Michelle on your team. So thank you, Michelle. We really appreciate that. We are going to move on to Leeton Hall, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
All right. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. As Juliet had said, my name is Leeton Hall. I was first introduced to STEM Teachers NYC, I would say through Kid Talk, Teacher Talk, through Jason Sullivan, who's on here also, in like 2017 or so. And since I've been here, we've had a lot of great experiences. And I think some of the experience you're going to hear me talk about have been shaped through STEM Teachers NYC. So I am a New York City public school teacher. I have been teaching for, at this point, 17 years. And I have taught grades 5 through 8, but currently I teach eighth graders who all take the biology regents. A lot of my experience has been centered around STEM education through grades 5 through 8, but now I've been really focusing on basically biology and living environment, which is high school level. So a lot of the things I've had to do have kind of fallen into three buckets, I would say. The three buckets, a lot of things I've done has fallen into responsive pedagogy, rigorous science instruction, and also teacher development. So, throughout my career, I've worked with culturally and linguistically diverse communities in the Bronx. I have designed NGSS-aligned lessons. I also have experience with IB lessons because my previous school I did IB, International Baccalaureate. And lessons are differentiated, inquiry-driven, and also grounded in students' lived experiences, which I think also helps with engagement. So some of the things that I try to design are experiences that connect science concepts to real-world community issues, using data to intentionally group and also try to see what are things that can increase discourse in the classroom, building literacy and science instruction to strengthen analytical thinking, and then also just creating multiple entry points for students that they can engage in the science in ways that are not just the traditional ways you engage with something. So, based on all of these things, I always try to make sure that I have inquiry at the center of everything that I'm doing while remaining rigorous. And I think this is important because you have it where you don't want to lose the rigor when you try to engage them with other things in relation to the work that we're doing. So, in addition to that, something else I'm passionate about is uh, teacher development. So I serve as an adjunct professor at Lehman, where I train early career physics teachers, and we're mainly they're working with trying to be engaged with NGSS and creating labs and engaging in all types of things that help them become better teachers, especially if they're first or second year. I'm also a New York State master teacher, Math for America master teacher, and I'm hoping that through my consultation, if you have me with you, I'll be able to help you design culturally responsive NGSS aligned curriculums, increase student engagement and through inquiry and hands-on learning, build systems for differentiated instruction, and then also coach early career teachers in effective science pedagogy. So if you want to work with me, I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Litan. That's amazing. We're going strategically from elementary to our middle school educators, so thank you for that. Let's see who we have next. Speaking of middle school, we also have Kamisha. So, Kamisha, when you are ready, take it away.
Hi, everyone. So I'm encountered STEM teachers probably about the same time Litan did. And I kind of entered through what we were doing at the point, which was Sage Modeler and learning how to model and use that within the science classroom. I am a middle school science teacher currently working with the sixth through eighth grade, and I'm also in another capacity, the assistant director of pedagogy at my school, which is an IB World School International Baccalaureate. And I'm also the middle school coordinator for the implementation and the training of staff and students with regards to the IB. In terms of experience, I can say it runs the gamut from being in the field to actually teaching it. And that's what I bring to the forefront, which is the hands-on experience being in the field, doing the scientific research. My background is I was trained to be a marine biologist, and then I segued into teaching. And I also have worked in formal as well as informal ed, environmental centers, zoos, you name it. And so I have 24 plus years of science teaching under my belt, done curriculum and NGSS aligned, as well as worked with informal centers, etc., to create curriculum programs for groups depending. I've done for diverse ages, really strong focus on inquiry, really rigorous inquiry-based, interdisciplinary, skills-driven work, classroom management, and how to support teachers with integrating and creating systems that will help their class flow and be effective is also something that I'm really passionate about, as well as really feel led to support teachers, especially new teachers. Student engagement, especially in this era of, shorter attention spans, etc. I'm really passionate about creating multimodal experiences for our students and ways for kids to get to express themselves and learn, that really kind of touches on who they are. In terms of communications, that's also another area that I'm really comfortable supporting teachers with in terms of communicating with the leadership as well as with parents. So helping to kind of figure out how to make sure that what they're doing is being expressed effectively to those audiences and coaching them through that. Again, as I said, I have fieldwork experience, so creating fieldwork curriculum is really something that I love to do. So I've taught in high schools as well and colleges. So whatever level you need, I can always help to bring the lessons to those levels. I do have an equity lens where I look through things as a co-founder of a Students of Color Affinity space at my school. That's the lens that I kind of look through when I'm doing science. And so we do bring in a lot of the real world experience, and we do bring in a lot of what's happening from day to day and how science connects with that, and helping to create curriculum that is steeped in that and reflects that. And my background, as I said, zoology, marine biology focus, secondary education diploma, as well as a Master of Science in Environmental Studies is my academic background.
Kamisha, thank you so much. As somebody who has co-led workshops in the past with Kamisha, I can vouch for her just being an amazing educator. And if you get the chance to work with her, I think you would be very fortunate because she's amazing. So thank you, Kamisha. Is Chinabia here? I'm not sure if she's here. Let's see. No. So we'll move on. Is Keisha here? Don't think so. All right, let's keep going. Is Jana here? Nope. Let's keep going. All right. Jason is here, and Jason is going to share a little bit about his experience and how he can best support you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Jason Sullivan was mentioned a couple times through some work that I've done with KT3, which is Kid Talk, Teacher Talk. That is a primarily elementary school and middle school program that we've run here at STEM Teachers NYC since, STEM Teachers NYC since about 2017. I'm just super excited to have a lot of people here that I've worked with in different capacities. Kind of explains a little bit about what STEM Teachers is about, and that is facilitating the growth in educators, people who really want to learn to kind of improve their craft and get better at it and be surrounded by people who like to do that. That's sort of what we're about, so that, if you are interested in doing that for yourself or your teachers, we are certainly excited to do that kind of work where we collaborate around ideas. My professional experience have been in the classroom since 1995. Started off as a middle school science teacher and math teacher, moved to New Jersey and took a role as the science department chair at a suburban high school outside of Princeton, New Jersey. And I've had the chance since about 2006 to just build a team of educators there. And I am probably as proud about that as anything that I have done professionally. I get to work with a great group and have had a lot of experience learning how to help teachers get better, and also learning from teachers who are really, really good at their craft, kind of coming alongside them. My role there is also extended, so if you have other interests in your venues, I am a Science Olympiad coach. I have done that for my entire 30 years or so in education, and have a really great team. In fact, they're out in the hallway making a lot of noise right now, and they are working on getting ready for an event this weekend. I run a couple different clubs, quite a few different things in equity that have emerged. I couldn't say that they were where I thought I would be at this point in my career, but I run a Women in STEM group here at Montgomery High School. And I also am a part of the Step Up Physics program, where we look to just promote, a sense of belonging among folks that might not always, and that is goes for teachers and students alike. Kind of jumping over to the other side of this page, where you talk about fostering a sense of belonging. Really, our work with KT3 looks at phenomena-based instruction. We have evolved that program to look at multilingual learners and how to best help them in a phenomena-based instruction environment. That has been really exciting work that has developed through the growth of great professionals who come alongside and work in that program. Localizing those high-quality instructional materials that you are trying to adopt or already adopting. Maybe it's Amplify Science or Open SciEd or something like that, where it may have a national focus in terms of its launching question or anchoring phenomena. We work really hard to try to make that more relevant to the students that are in front of you in the classroom. And the other group that I'm associated with is Beyond 100K. If you are not familiar with this group, I encourage you to see what they're all about. And that is a group that really does try to foster that sense of belonging among Black, Latinx, and Indigenous individuals, both as teachers and students in the classroom. So super excited to be a part of this group and collaborate with any or all, and hopefully learn quite a bit along the way myself as I try to continue to grow in my my own practice. So thank you.
As somebody who's been a student of Jason's in the KT3 program and had other opportunities to talk professionally with him, he is definitely an amazing coach. He works really well, I think, with one-on-one and in small groups. So if you're looking for a coaching situation, I think that Jason could be the right person for you. All right, we'll move on to Tracy LaGrassa.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me here. I feel very humbled listening to all of you and all of your wonderful experience and how many different places you are contributing and making a difference in students' lives. So just, I feel really honored to be part of this group. I come to teaching as a scientist. And so most of what I love about teaching is just getting students excited about doing science and treating science as a process and not a bunch of facts to kind of memorize. And as many of you've mentioned, and it doesn't just apply to elementary school students, I think students do learn best by hands-on learning. So a lot of my teaching, especially in my elective courses, I teach an elective in molecular cell biology, is focused around creating laboratory experiences with my students where they could do some kind of real hands-on research and not just a demonstration, but like really asking their own scientific questions and answering them, and then using that as the structure to learn the biological concepts that we think are important for them to understand. So that's kind of what I bring to you, and what I could offer is that kind of brainstorming to come up with projects that would help get students to learn the curricular ideas, but to do it in a way where they're curious and they're asking those questions themselves instead of you just delivering content to them, which none of us do, of course. But unfortunately, a lot of the curricula that we work with require us to do that. I love helping students develop agency as learners and as scientists. So really just getting students to take control of their own learning and self-direct their learning as much as possible. And then I also work as a teacher in our research program. I've been doing that ever since I started teaching at Bronx Science, so 12 years ago. Just really working with students as they do research from grades 9 to 12 and eventually develop their own research narratives. And I've worked with especially Jason, but some other folks here as well on workshops where we kind of share some of those ideas about how we do that with our students. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say. I love STEM Teachers New York City. I became a teacher in 2014, and you were the first workshops that I ever attended. We were like there was a workshop on pond ecology and just looking at microbes in pond water under the microscope, and I still start my cell biology year with a project like that. So I owe a lot to everything I do as a teacher to you folks. So if anyone wants any help with doing more research experiences with their high school or elementary school students, I'm very, very happy to support you however I possibly can.
Amazing. Thank you, Tracy. That was awesome. Again, I'll just reiterate what she said. If you're looking to implement a research program with your students, she is definitely the right person to go to. We also have this common theme throughout today's event where people started as practicing scientists and then went into science education. So they have great content knowledge as well as skills knowledge and just have a lot to bring to the table. So thank you, Tracy. We will quickly move on to Paul.
Hello there. Welcome. My name's Paul Pfeffer. I teach at a small private boarding school in the Lower Hudson Valley, um, in Orange County. I live in Rockland County, and I've been teaching for 13 years. I discovered STEM Teachers NYC about 11 years ago. Took some workshops with them, and then over the last 10 years have turned around and led over half a dozen of my own workshops in physics, some in coding, engineering. It's been incredibly invigorating working with the people at STEM Teachers NYC and coaching, mentoring some early career teachers. I'm also the department chair at my school. So I've dealt with a lot of first year teachers coming in and finding their balance. I've organized also some workshops in chemistry and biology. That's not my expertise, but I sat in and learned a lot in those workshops. I also manage our school has a mini term at the end of the year, and it's think of a sort of a summer camp style program where students sign up for one class intensive for between 5 and 10 days. I've done workshops such as Intro to Architecture, Intro to Engineering, Rocketry, stop motion animation, escape rooms, that kind of thing. Um, and Yeah, I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I think I could help other teachers, other schools as a coach, maybe putting on specialized workshops, especially in physics, which for me has been heavily influenced by modeling instruction, which if you're not familiar with that, it's a research-based style of teaching. I started with physics and has now branched into other topics. And it's heavily influential even at the AP level. You see the influence of modeling in AP exams, and it certainly influenced how I go about teaching regardless of the subject. It's a way of putting the students first, inquiry based, having the students discover patterns on their own and form scientific models from that. So, Juliet, back to you.
All right. If you are somebody who is looking to implement more engineering design challenges in your science curriculum, Paul is definitely one of the people you should go to. Thank you, Paul. That was wonderful. So I think we can go back. We just had some people join. So Keisha, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Would you like to talk? I know I'm putting you right on the spot right after you came
Yeah,
into right
sure.
after you came into the room. Is that okay?
Yeah, that is completely fine. Hi, my name is Keisha Lambert. I am an eighth grade science teacher. I've been a middle school science teacher for the past 8 years. This is my ninth year. I'm also a peer collaborative teacher. I support and coach new and experienced teachers. We collaborate on curriculum, classroom management, and much more. I'm also the eighth grade team leader, so I oversee the entire eighth grade. And also, I am a master teacher with Math for America, and I am in my second fellowship. Primarily, what I do on a daily basis is I design and teach IB and NGSS-aligned curriculum, and I support diversity in population. I do teach English language learners as well as supporting students with disability as well in the classroom. One of the things that I do enjoy is creating culturally responsive project-based learning that is aligned and relevant to students' experiences in life. So that's one of the things I truly enjoy. My background is I have a bachelor in biology and a master's in education. So I bring those experiences into the classroom to make sure science is relevant, fun, and engaging for all students. Thank you.
Keisha, thank you so much. You made me think while you were talking about differentiation and how difficult it can be to differentiate for all of the different students we have in our classrooms. And that is definitely something that we can assist you with as coaches if you're looking for support with differentiating for your students. That's absolutely something that we can help you with. All right, did I forget any coaches that are here that I did not get to? Because if not, we have some time for a Q&A. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Those of you who are here, if you have questions for us, we're here to field them. They could be individual questions for individual coaches. It could be a general question about the consulting and coaching program. Basically, this is your opportunity to ask us what's on your mind. One thing I will say, we do have an FAQ on our website that you can go to, and I'll put the website in the chat for you. So that's something I wanted to mention. And one of the questions we get quite a bit is, okay, this is great. I would love to work with you, but how much is this going to cost my school? Which is a fair question. And the answer is, we determine after the diagnostic session how much we feel the job should be hourly. And we really try to make sure that we are working with you and your school. So we want to make sure that this is affordable and within reach for everyone. We're here to work with you. So just know that if you want to talk to your administration, we're here to be fair and make it so that it works. So with that said, I will take any questions. You can just unmute yourself. Anything on your mind? I'll bring up the FAQs while I'm waiting. I'm incorporating wait time, Jason. So one of my talk moves. All right, I'm going to put the link in the chat. And we can look at some of the FAQs that might help you come up with your own questions. So let me share my screen again. So do we offer coaching for groups? Yes, absolutely, 100%. So if there are a group of teachers, for example, the entire science department who needs coaching, we can provide that. Do we cater to specific content areas or grade levels? We are for K to 12. We have elementary, middle school, and high school specialists. We also have specialists in the life sciences, physical sciences, earth and space sciences. So whatever your needs are, we have somebody who, at least one person who we can match you with. As you heard too from our coaches, We have people from the DOE, we have people from charter schools, we have people from independent schools. So if you're looking for somebody whose classroom is a similar demographic to yours, that's also something that we can take into consideration. Yes, we do personalized professional development. So like I said before, if you're a school that's, worried about the new regents and you would like some professional development around that, that's something we can provide you with. We can help with designing STEM curricula. One of the coaching projects that I did in the past was with a DOE school here in Queens. I'm in Queens. And I was able to collaborate with them on writing a new integrated STEM curriculum for their K through third grade school. And it was an amazing experience. So we are more than happy to help you with curriculum design. Often you would be working with more than one coach. For example, we have a school right now who wants to basically do some refreshing of their content and skills knowledge for their department for all areas, life sciences, physical sciences, earth and space sciences. So we have different coaches for each of those different specialties. The typical onboarding process. So that's something that you should know that I think I kind of went over earlier, but we have a diagnostic session. I'll go to the slide. Here we go. And then we create a work plan with duration, cost, and expected outcomes. And then we really want it to be a collaborative process. So we collaborate with you to make sure that the goals are clear and well aligned, and both you and the consultants know where you're going to be going. And if you're hearing all of these amazing people and thinking, wow, I wish I could do that too, I would like to be a consultant/coach, please let me know. I'm going to give you my contact information in just a moment. But now that we've kind of primed you with some of these sample questions, does anybody have any other questions that they wanted to ask? I see the chat. Yes, so this is a really good question. I'm an elementary teacher and living outside of the US. How can you help me with individual training? So we're actually in talks right now with another school in the South, and that is a similar situation. We provide in two ways. So one is asynchronously, where we work on things asynchronously, and the other way is one-on-one through Zoom. So I've done lots of Zoom coaching sessions with people before, and that is, just two of the ways that we can make sure that we're helping you, even though you're not in New York City. Any other questions? You can put them in the chat as well. That's totally fine. All right, well, let me go to my last slide. So there's a couple of different ways that you can get in touch with us. So the first way, and probably the way that's going to give us the most information about what you need, because it's a series of questions, is the Google form. So I'm going to put the Google form link in the chat for you, so you can fill out the Google form. The other way you can get in touch with us is at the email address consulting@STEMteachersNYC.org. If you go to the STEM Teachers website, so if I'm on the home page, if you go to For Teachers and then you scroll down to Consulting and Coaching, you will find our webpage for Consulting and Coaching. Talks a little bit about what we do, a little bit about our process. You'll see that the form is actually embedded, so you're able to just fill it out right from there. And then one of the great things that we have is we have all of our coaches and their bios so that you can look and see who's available. And then we have some people who have used us before and had really positive experiences. So you can read a little bit of that on your own. And then our FAQs. So feel free to go to the website for any information or to email if you have any questions. Any last questions, comments, wonderings, questions for specific people? I see something in the chat. Yes, Jason, thank you so much for responding. I agree that great work can still happen at a distance, 100%. Definitely. Absolutely. Anything else we want to put in the chat? Or, okay, so, all right, so I am going to also put this email address in the chat too, so that you have it to click on. I am so glad that you came today. I hope that if you're here, you're thinking about how we can help you and support you in being the best STEM teacher or having the best department that you can possibly have. Whether you're in New York City or somewhere else, we're here to help you. We can, go on Zoom. We can meet with you in your classroom and visit. You can visit us in our classrooms. So many different ways to help one another. So I cannot wait to be in touch with you. Feel free to reach out, even if you're not sure, if you don't even know if you want a diagnostic and you just want to ask a question, feel free. There is no pressure. One thing I like to say to everybody, which is important, is the diagnostic is absolutely free. So if you want to do a diagnostic session and then you decide that you don't want our services, that is okay. So you can always do a diagnostic and see how you feel. All right. Thank you, everybody. Anything I'm missing? I appreciate it. Thank you for coming. And I hope to hear from you very soon. Bye, everybody.